Yo, what's going on, y'all? This your man Marcus A. Brown once again, and today is Friday, November 25th, 2016, aka Black Friday, or the day after Thanksgiving. So I hope you all are enjoying the holiday weekend so far, whether you observe it or not. At least just try to reap the benefits of having a day to relax and eat and drink and be merry with the fam, or solo dolo, like whatever you choose to do. But anyway, as you all know, between the holiday season and the aftermath of the presidential elections, we've had more than enough distractions. And so I just want to take this time to shed light on a different and a very vital topic of discussion for a lot of American people. Today I want to talk about federal case number 15-55563, also referred to as the Right to Lie case by State Committee woman Kathlee. As always, I'll provide links in the description. And let me just also take this time to give a special thanks to my Facebook friend Tina DeRosa for sharing this information with me to begin with. Now, we always talk about how the court system is biased against not only men, but just towards the security of the nuclear family in general. So it's cases like this that I'm not entirely informed on, and I don't really hear too many other channels going into great details on specific issues like this, but we all need to be. We all need to be informed, and we need to be familiar with examples of these types of legislation that's passed all the time without the media speaking a word about it. So real quick, let's take a look at a few snippets of these videos by Ms. Arthur.
Right to lie case. This case is one step away from the Supreme Court. And the question is, do social workers have the constitutional right to lie? And if they plant evidence and lie, are they immune from this or not? This is being heard in our federal court. The closing arguments have been done, and now they are awaiting the decision. If the federal court decides to go ahead and allow this, that means that our social workers, they're going to set the precedent all over America that the social workers have the constitutional right to lie, commit perjury, plant evidence, and take your child. That is exactly what this case is about. This is Kathlee Arthur reporting, and I have just gone to the Judiciary Committee and I have handed them the news article on the social worker right to lie case, and I also explained to them the implications of it. When you look at the federal right to lie case, number 15-55563, it is in the federal court to decide if it is constitutional for the social workers to lie and to plant evidence. And the bottom line is that this is a key and very, very important point. And the point is that they are not disputing the fact that the social workers for the last 16 years, since this case started in 2000, have been lying and planting evidence. What they're disputing is that they have the right, the constitutional right to do it. And so I've been going to the different offices and thoroughly explaining that we have pretty much undeniable evidence that for the last 16 years, the government has been involved in a form of government-sponsored kidnapping of our children. And so I suggested that this Judiciary Center contact the FBI. And when I did give them the paperwork, they just got up and went and gave it to somebody in another room. They were pretty impressed by it. And it's pretty horrific.
Okay, so once again, this is just an edited snippet that I made for the sake of this video, alright? So please check out the links in the description box below to view the full original video so you can hear it for yourself, and that way you can listen to everything that she's saying in its full context. But to put this all in layman's terms, basically what Ms. Arthur is saying is, if the people presenting this case to a federal court wins this case, then it'll set the precedence for social workers to have the legal capacity to take children away from their parents based on hearsay. Or in other words, he say, she say, or just random claims without evidence. Okay, so imagine having people from the state just walking around with the ability to make up some fabricated story or hear somebody else's fabricated story about you or your family, and that's just based on hearsay alone, without due process of law. And based on that, based on those rumors, or potentially based on a lie, these people can then make advancements to legally kidnap your children from you. And in addition to that, these social workers that's involved in taking children away from their parents will be immune from any type of legal recourse. So you wouldn't even be able to try to fight them in court over this. This is not good. If you have children or if you have a functional family, this should bother you. I don't even have kids, and the thought of that alone, that deeply bothers me. It's part of the reason I don't want to have kids, but I mean, that's another story. But the state, look, man, the state already been taking children away from their families, all right? This ain't really nothing new. It's always been wars of the state and people being taken from their families and adopted by some random other families, either for money or just for, to have some type of little token baby or whatever. This ain't nothing new. This is just an advancement to give the state more power to do it. And as Ms. Arthur said, none of this is being discussed in the media because they all too busy talking about Donald Trump shafting the media or Hillary Clinton's face and Kanye West in the hospital for tweaking or whatever else is going on. It really ain't that important. Or at least it shouldn't be as important to the average American than the reality that the local, the state, the federal government has more say-so in how you raise your own family, or if you can raise your own family, than you do. Does that make any sense? Gee, like I'm sitting here listening to this video that Tina sent me, right? I'm listening to Miss Arthur speak, and I'm looking at another video with the actual court proceeding where they sitting there having this discussion. And as I'm listening, I'm thinking about people that I know personally that have kids. They should be able to relate to this more than I can. I actually listen to these parents when they vent to me their frustrations about these mandates that these doctors and clinics have when it comes to their kids. They talk about all the mandates that come from the public schools and the education system when it comes to their kids. And I don't think a lot of people understand. Look, I hate to get all political all the time, but this is all stemming from regulations from big government. G, y'all should be on top of this, G. It's people that get mad at MGTOW or people in the manosphere when we talk about the legal ramifications of marriage and baby mamas and family courts. Excuse me, because this is what it's really about, G. It's really the family courts, which is considered to be equity court, which is separate from criminal and civil court. Look at the documentary Divorce Court. I'm so glad they finally put that on Netflix. Please look at it if you haven't already. In addition to that, just continue to do more research on your own. But this stuff is real, man. This ain't just a bunch of butthurt people with conspiracy theories on the internet. Look, I don't want to make this rant too long, especially seeing as how I'm still trying to get a full understanding of what's going on with this specific case myself. But what I wanted to do is open the floor for us to discuss this matter. And as always, if you care to share your own experience or information, y'all already know y'all more than welcome to do so. So as of now, the least we could do is some fact checking and raise awareness on the matter ourselves, since we can't rely on the lamestream media to do it for us. But beyond all that, to my understanding, by this being a federal court case and not a bill that they're trying to pass through legislation, I'm not exactly sure what action to take to fight against this. Alright, and since writing our congressmen and congresswomen may not help in this particular case, I'm thinking it's ultimately up to the judges presiding over this case. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But fortunately, from what I'm seeing, they don't seem to be buying it right now. But my point is, these social workers and the people like them, I don't see them stopping anytime soon with this agenda that they're pushing. And this is only what we know of that's going on right now. Honestly, really ain't even no telling how much has been going on to strip parents of their rights to raise their children how they see fit. So this is a pretty big deal, y'all, because this can potentially affect a lot of people. It can affect a lot of parents, a lot of children, a lot of families, a lot of communities. Alright, this is much more important than whatever Donald Trump is saying or doing that's upsetting these liberals or the media. And this is much more important than whatever Hillary Clinton is doing now that she lost the election. So I guess that's all I got to say for now. Y'all can let me know what y'all think in the comment section, and I'll holler at y'all in a minute. Peace.